Welcome to Comfy Havoc number 2. I'm your host, Echo Fan Grey Wolf. So, I made this video on my TikTok page, and I thought I'd bring this whole situation back over here to YouTube. Alright? So, first, let me cut down my earpiece, because as lovely as Jasmine is, I need to focus so I can get this done before Raw comes on. Alright, so, earlier on my TikTok, I posted a video. I made 7 of them about people who play too much and why you should not play too much, because there are a lot of people in a lot of families globally, in the world, and specifically the United States, where there's a time and a place for everything, and there's a time and a place for games and people that you can mess with and they're cool, and then there are people like me. It's not cool. And when I tell you it's not cool, you need to respect the stop. Alright? Now a lot of people are going to look at me like, what the frack does respect the stop mean? I'm going to explain respect the stop really, really freaking quickly before I get into detail about the situation. Okay. Stop means you stop. When somebody says you stop, you stop. No matter what the situation is, if you're about to have sex and a girl changes her mind and you have your tip inside of her vagina and she says stop, you don't slide on in. You pull out. It's not that difficult. It's respect the stop. Same thing when someone is bullying or being bullied and they say you need to stop. And if you don't stop, well, consequences be damned, because you are going to find yourself with consequences that will damn you. Right? In a fucking nutshell. And some people don't know how to respect the word stop. So when people tell you, please stop, and you continue to do what it is you're doing, you can't be mad when people rearrange your dental work or give you some leakage. By that meaning, they bust a lip, it bleeds, or they knock out your teeth, it bleeds, or they bust your nose, it bleeds. They gouge at your fucking eye. You bleed. You should only have to be told stop one time. And if you continue to pursue the fact that you were told stop one time and said, fuck it, I do what I want, well then, when that person goes, fuck it, they do what they want, you can't get mad because they told you to stop. Now I got a family member or two, maybe a few, who don't understand respect the stop. They also don't understand I'm giving you your first, last, and only. That means your first warning is your final and only warning. And if I tell you to stop, my TikTok, every time I get on TikTok, I say the following things. Hello, TikTokers. This is for educational purposes. I send warnings, not invitations. I apologize for how I say this. I do not apologize for what I say. Because how I say it might not be the way you receive it versus what I say. That's why I said I apologize for how I say it. I don't apologize for what I say. You got to figure the rest of that shit out on your own. But if you keep poking me and I done batted your hand away and I tell you, hey, leave me alone, and when I break your fingers, the same ones that you were doing this with, is it my fault or is it your fault? I also said in the videos on TikTok that you can be both. You can be the victim and the shit starter. You being the victim of me grabbing your fingers and breaking them because you started some shit and I had about enough. And I grabbed your fingers and broke the motherfuckers, because the more I asked you to stop, the more you were like, the fuck you gonna do about it? What you gonna do about it? Then I showed you what I was gonna do about it, and now I'm the bad guy. See, this has happened a lot to me in life when I was getting bullied as a child, when I was getting bullied as an adult. And I'll bring this back up because I've been bullied from kindergarten to college. and even bullied by a police officer that sat in my class with me. And I'm not going to tell you what his name is, but hopefully these clues that I leave will give you an information kick to put that shit together with 21 questions. He is an Albemarle County police officer here in Charlottesville, and sometimes he doesn't know how to do the right thing to do. See, one of the right things to do was, if you're going to arrest me for cussing, then you need to arrest the other black guy who was also in the military for cussing. Why is it right for him to say F-bombs, but it's not right for me to say F-bombs? Because y'all fucking served together? I served too. Did I serve as long as you? Nah, but that does not mean I'm dead to rights and you have the right to fucking arrest me. Did I give you enough hints on what that motherfucker's last name is? Because I don't know his first name, but I do know what his last name is. And I'm not dead to rights because I dropped a fucking F-bomb. If you don't arrest both black parties, then you are biased. And that could be cause for me to make sure that get the right job and fuck up and let that name come across my desk. And let me find out you're the same guy that was in Mr. Flick's class with me. Let me see a good look at your face. And so help me God, when that little thing goes down the scuttlebutt or the wire or whatever information that comes out and it happens to come across me, I'll be the first one at that court to do the right thing for the right reasons. Not just because I'm going to be a petty little son of a bitch, but I'm going to point out that in college, this officer decided that it was okay for one black military guy to cuss. But this black military guy couldn't cuss, and he threatened me with arrest. Hopefully you learn right from wrong. I did a lot of clues there. Won't take much for somebody who lives, works, and operates in Charlottesville to figure out his name. Because it would be the right thing to do. But I'm just going to wait for the right thing to do. Like, maybe he'll run for sheriff. And I'll just happen to be in town one day and was like, nope, you can't let this guy be the sheriff because he's a fucking bully. Bullies should never have that much power. Trump's a key factor on why bullies should not have that much power. Do the right thing, and people won't have to make videos like this. Now back to the point. If you have an issue where you like to bully people, or if you like to start fights, the victim could be well within their rights to fuck your shit up. But there's a double side to that. If you're going around starting shit, you are not the victim, you are the shit starter. And if you shit starting, you can't cry victim when the people you start shit with decides to knock your teeth down your throat, or out your mouth, or bust your nose, or bust open an eye, hit that orbital bone and just you never see again. You ask for that when people tell you to stop, and you choose to continue to not stop. People have the right to get angry because there's a little thing about annoying somebody. Don't do it. Your rights end where my face begins. That works both ways. But fighting words are against the law. And if you keep fucking with me, and I've reached the point of no return, I'm going to fuck with you back. And somebody's going to be bleeding. Ain't going to be me. It's the same thing with de-escalating a situation. If I walk off and you follow behind me and you're still talking shit even though I've walked off, you know, you're still yelling at me, you're still yapping, but you're coming behind me. Now, I ain't going to run because I can't, but if I'm picking up a little bit more speed and you have to run to catch up and cut me off, I will no longer be held responsible for what the fuck happens next. There won't be enough doctors qualified to put your ass back together again when I rip your fucking shit to pieces. Because I tried to de-escalate, I tried to walk away, but you couldn't get enough. This is where playing too much can wind up costing you everything. And like I said in the video that I had to delete, as long as you don't start it and we family, I got you all day. But don't lie to me and let me beat somebody up and do time for a fight that you started, because then I'm going to beat your ass too. As soon as I get out of jail, I'm going right back, because they were like, well, why'd you beat him up? I wouldn't have been in jail had this motherfucker not started to fight with that guy. You know? And people do that shit all the time. I've always told my younger brothers, as long as you don't start the fight, I got you. But if you do start the fight, he got a crew and you don't, I'm not going to let his crew jump you. We're going to get our asses kicked together. But if he ain't got a crew, and if it's just you and him, and you started it, that's an ass whooping you deserve, because you started it. Whole different ball game when you don't start shit, because then you are a true victim. But if you are starting shit, and you decide to play victim after you push this motherfucker's buttons all the way to the breaking point, and they just decide to fuck your shit up, now you done got me involved in some shit that I had nothing to do with. And again, I bring this up because of an incident over the weekend. Alright? And I really wouldn't say it's over the weekend because today is Monday. And basically it happened on Monday. Tuesday. No, Sunday. Sorry. It happened on Sunday. And it goes like this. It's actually have been picking back up with this one family member who keeps playing military cadences and keeps singing that shit in my face. And so yesterday he did it again. And I told him in so many words, karma doesn't forget an address. Now, a couple of days before that, which was actually last week, his big brother was about to go beat the crap out of somebody. But, I ain't into nobody's business, but I had a conversation with his brother. And I literally told him, I ain't got no money, so don't go doing something stupid because of your brother. He's like, well, he's such and such and such and such happened. And I said, that doesn't change the fact that I ain't got no money and don't go doing shit because of your brother. Which goes back to the point of this. Everybody has somebody in their family that plays just a little bit too much. And if you can't protect them from you, you can't protect them from themselves, then whatever happens, happens. And it's their fault. I'm not going to keep trying to save people. I'm just letting that be known. And I'm saying it. And anybody who's watching this video, if you friend or family or foe, I meant what the fuck I said. Respect the fucking stop. Because if you're going to sit here and pick a fight, and pick a fight, and pick a fight, or keep picking on people, and then they beat your ass, that shit's your fault. Because you could have just left them the fuck alone. And this is the thing about people who like to play too much or who like to pick. They don't understand that this shit is bad for them until somebody makes them understand this shit is bad for you. If someone has told you more than one time, just leave me alone, man. Then just leave them the fuck alone. But if you're one of them people that like to exhaust your chances, you can't get mad when that motherfucker hauls off from the back and rocks your fucking jaw. Because they gave you a chance to stop. And you decided, I'm touching you. No. When someone tells you to stop touching them, or stop doing anything in general, stop talking to them, it would behoove you to stop. But there are people, not just in my family, probably in some of y'all family, that don't know the meaning of the word stop. Now, in some cases, if you are an athlete and you racing against somebody, not knowing what the meanings of stop means is great. If you happen to get into a street fight with somebody, not so great. Because some people will beat you to death because they don't know the meaning of the word stop. There's pros and cons to knowing the meaning of the word stop and not knowing the meaning of the word stop. And it's also very situational. Bullets run out. When your gun runs out, you're going to stop. Unless you have another clip. Or, magazine. But if you don't have another magazine or a clip, and you spent all your rounds, and somebody else has rounds, your ass is going down. It's not that hard of a concept, y'all. When someone asks you to stop, you should stop. When someone tells you, the person who keeps playing too much, that you should probably leave me the fuck alone, you should probably leave them the fuck alone. Or be ready. And also, to anybody whose siblings do this shit, mind your business. Mind your business and stay out of theirs. because they're going to get you locked up or arrested for some shit they probably started. And instead of telling you to weigh the pros and cons or the truth or both sides, because people lie. People honestly, truly to God, look their family in the face and tell them a lie. Don't blink, don't bat an eye. You will never know if I'm telling you a lie. And then they'll know when they went and beat somebody halfway to hell because you couldn't fight. And now they sitting in jail doing time for you. Which is why I was telling my family member, yo, don't go getting in trouble for your fucking brother. It ain't fucking worth it. Because you can be doing the time that he should be doing. Or you can be doing the time and you won't be able to protect your brother when he goes right back and starts doing that same damn dumbass shit. And this is the thing, because I want to end this video before it gets too long. You know your family members. Because if they're picking on you, they're probably out there picking on other people too. And if that is the case, then they're just setting you up for a fucking fall. And you will fall for it. And trying to do the right thing, you're going to wind up doing the wrong thing for you. And when you fucking sitting there doing time because you want to rearrange somebody's dental work because somebody wouldn't keep their mouth shut or went to somebody and kept poking the bear with the stick, what the fuck you think could happen next? You done went down there because, well, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. The guy won't leave me alone, man. And you being the elder brother, because I've been there, going up in there. Look, man, I don't want to do this, but I got you because you won't leave my brother alone. Now you done beat the guy's ass. As soon as you get out, somebody done called the cops because everybody and their mama got a cell phone. Even people who are homeless have cell phones. Now, I don't know how they pay the bill, but, you know, they done recorded you. So your next stop is the police station for assault. And after you get through all that assault, you're going to have to explain to them, well, what the hell did you go down there for? Oh, this guy threatened my brother. Now, this is where the law comes in, so pay attention, because this is the part that affects everyone involved. There's always three sides to every story. There's your side, and there's their side, and then there's what actually happened, which is aligned somewhere in the middle. You going down there to beat somebody's ass because they was threatening to hurt your brother, that's your side of the story. Their side of the story will be, well, your brother came down here and run his motherfucking mouth. And I told your brother to leave me the fuck alone, but he wouldn't do it. So I decided I'm going to make your brother leave me the fuck alone. One way or the other, it was your brother's fault. And now you come down here, put this person in a fucking hospital, and you going to jail. Without question, you're going to fuck the jail. Because the judge is going to look at this shit and say, all right, well, let me get this straight. This guy, you said, was beating up on your brother, or picking on your brother, or threatening your brother, and you decided instead of going to the cops, it would be a good idea to go handle this bullshit the black way instead of the right way, and you done went down to this man's place of business and beat his ass on his job with tons of fucking witnesses around. I gotta lock you up. You're gonna stand trial for fucking assault. Probably attempted murder if he don't make it out the fucking hospital by the time trial comes. Ain't worth it. But that's why I said, when people give you your first, last, and only, you should probably walk the fuck away. And if you like to play or pick on people, then you need to be ready for the consequences of those actions. Because all actions have consequences. And if that's what you want to do, and you want to get other people in trouble, what's going to happen when that person you got in trouble is locked the fuck up? And then you go right back to the guy that got him in trouble because he beat up the guy for you, and now you right back in his face. But now you ain't got nobody to protect you, and now he beat your ass. And now, being that the judge already believed him to put your family member in jail, you laid up in the hospital, clinging to life for some shit that you deserve. And then Donald looks at him and says, hey man, why didn't you call the cops, man? You could have stopped all this shit by just calling the cops and got this motherfucker for harassment or something. Well, he wouldn't stop. Kept on picking on me day after motherfucking day. I reached, fuck it. Then you got two options here, because the judge could be like, you know what? I'm going to go with you because you already got that ass whooping, and I locked up the other guy who beat your ass because of this guy. Now, the only way the judge can actually do something to the guy who beat your ass is if you die. The same way that this guy can go to jail is the same way that your family member who you sent on this guy who whipped his ass is going to go to jail. At the end of the day, if you die, he don't get out of jail, and he don't get out of jail. So don't keep playing with people, because you're going to play with the wrong person at the right day, at the wrong motherfucking time. And you ain't going home. Or if you're going home, you're going by 2 ways. You ain't going to the physical home. You're going up, or you're going down. Because whoever you keep fucking with will reach fuck it. And they're going to rearrange your life. If they don't kill you, they're going to cripple you. And you got to understand, playing with motherfuckers in the streets ain't the same as playing with people in family. And hell, you can't play with everybody in your family, because some of them motherfuckers one heartbeat away from fucking your shit up. Take this as a cautionary tale. And don't say that Echo Fang Grey Wolf didn't try to warn you and didn't try to save you. Like I said, I got family members specifically that like to do this kind of shit. And I tell them the same thing I tell you. You can't keep picking on people, because sooner or later, it's going to backfire. You're going to pick the wrong guy, right day, wrong motherfucking time, and you're going to be picking up your teeth, wiping the blood off your nose, praying that your eye still works, and if none of that, you might wind up in a coma. Now, this is not a threatening video. This is a cautionary tale video. It goes to friends, family, and foes alike. Don't fucking pick or play too much, because if you do, well, just put it this way. Actions have consequences, and you're going to be one of the 3. Beat up real bad in the hospital, beat up real bad in the fucking morgue, or beat up real bad and then wind up going to jail. Those are your 3 options. Pray that you don't do any of those and just learn how to leave people the fuck alone. Part of the problem with America and Americans don't know when to quit. And in some cases, that works against you versus work for you. In a fight, I don't know when to quit, especially if I'm being attacked. There is no quit. But I also don't start fights, so I don't have to worry about that shit. But if I put you to sleep, or if you get knocked out, then fight's over. As long as you still breathing, you're still a threat. But I also know that as long as your eyes are closed, fight's done. Because I've made sure your eyes closed. Now I'm going to give you a quick story about me moving over here to my mom's house when we first moved. Because I was in Smithfield when they moved to this house. And I'm not talking about when I moved back in. Before, when we first moved to this house. I was just, ow, motherfucker, what the hell is under this bitch that keeps cutting me? Damn, that's the second finger on a different hand that done cut me. Fucking A. Damn. Fuck sticks. You're gonna see my face cringe. Peroxide. Tried to get some dust off my bed last week and cut that finger. Damn. I don't know what the fuck it is. Hopefully I got it. Anyway, that fucked up my whole train of thought right there. Story time. We moved over here. It was my last summer in Smithfield with my dad. And I bumped into a guy, and I'm leaving his name off. And I've told you this story before. Guy's about 6 foot. Just about. Just south. Maybe 5'8", 5'11". I'm 5'3". We had got a dog. Dog name was Kilo. I walked Kilo to the park so Kilo could do his business. And this is before we had like doggy bags and cleanup responsibilities. And I would take him to where he could shit and nobody would step in it. Took the dog home. Came back to explore the park. Young man was a little bit younger than me, or might have been the same age, but it doesn't really matter. What does matter is that he decided that he was gonna fuck with me. And I decided I just want to go home. I want no problem, man. I'm new to the neighborhood. Just want to go home. We got 1 week to go before school starts. All I want to do is just go to fuck home. And yes, I'm fucking with this cut so that I can make sure that it heal properly. A lot of people will tell you to leave that shit alone. Listen to them, don't listen to me. We'll do what they say, don't do what I do. So, I come home. At least I came home. And I decided to go back to the park. So when I go back to the park, I'm not thinking that I'm going to not be able to come back home. And I was wrong. At the park, I tried to go home. Dude cut me off. And he said, this is my block. This is my neighborhood. I rule this block. I rule everybody on this block. And I was like, okay, that's cool and everything. You can have the block. I don't want nothing to do with the block. I just want to go home, And you can rule all you fucking want. Just don't fuck with my family, and don't fuck with me, and be good, But apparently, that wasn't an option. He decided, you ain't going home, little man. And it was basically me being Wolverine and him being anybody else. And I stepped to the left. He stepped to his right. He got in my way. I said, look, I just want to go home. I don't want to hurt you. The laughter in his face and in his voice, he has no idea that 3 months before that, I beat somebody bigger than him and barely worked up a fucking sweat. And it also was the last time that anybody in the projects ever bothered me after that. So, you can't hurt me, little guy. He went to grab me. I spun behind him, and I put him in the cobra clutch. Well, I put him in the rear neck and choke. Put him in this shit. And I got my knees in his back, and I'm reeling up, and we go to the ground. And I told him, I didn't want to hurt you. I just want to go home. He said, well, let me up. I said, okay, I'm going to let you up. You going to let me go home? Yeah, I'm going to let you go home. I was stupid. I let him up. He tries again. Now I put him in the same shit. This time it's this way. Choke him. He's in the back. We go back down to the ground. Yeah. It's no big deal. He says, all right, I'm done. I'm going to let you go home. I said, cool. So I let him up. And I was stupid again. Because I believed him twice. So the big guy, I stepped to the right again because I'm short in the story. But he got in the way. I stepped to the left. He got in the way. I stepped back to the right. He went to grab me. And then I put him in this one. See, a lot of things are taught to you when you be fighting in the streets. And the one thing that's taught is how to break a fucking neck. This time I was done. And I choked this motherfucker until I couldn't. And I'm getting on him, and I'm got my knee in his back, and I'm reeling down on him. I'm putting all my weight on his neck and his back, cause my knees. We're in the park down there, and I'm choking the dog shit out of him. Man, I'm getting my hand as close as I can. He's got like that little bit of space, and I'm squeezing, sliding my arm down. I was like, nah, I gave you 2 chances, man. 2. I gave you 2 motherfucking chances to let me go home, and now I'm gonna have to fuck your shit up. And he's like, please let me go. I said, I did that twice. Twice. Why are we on this ground again? Because you wouldn't let me go home. And you thought because I'm small, I couldn't hurt you. You thought because I'm small that I'm just going to sit here and let you beat my ass. This is your neighborhood. This is your block. Where there's a warrior in town. And it ain't you. You had the chance to leave me alone, but you wouldn't stop playing. And now, we ain't playing no more. Please. I said, no. Please left the first goddamn time. You asked for this ass whooping. Because you wouldn't let me go to fuck home. So I'm going home. And rather you live or die in this moment, that shit's on you. Because I told you to stop, and you refused to. And now you gotta pay for that shit because you thought you was a badass. So I beat people like you for breakfast. You just bigger than me. You not better. You're stronger, but you're stupid. And strength and stupidity leads to a quick fucking defeat. And I'm choking the dog shit out of this motherfucker. His eyes getting loopy. Had he not drooled on me, I would not have let him go. He got the coughing and drooling, and I was like, ugh. It's like, if you ever fuck with me again, you die. Simple as that. You die. I will deal with the cops when that time comes. He never bothered me again. I taught him 2 lessons that day. 1, don't keep fucking with people because you're bigger than them. And 2, if someone tells you they going home, they going home. And if they have to go through you, and you think you're going to win because you bigger, well, let the chips fall where they may. Learn to respect the stop. Learn not to start fights. And if you can't fight, you don't know who can. People don't think I can fight. They found out that I can. Same thing happened before when I beat the guy in the project that was 3 times my size. He was at least 6'4". And I had golf cleats on. And I whooped his ass. I'm not proud of that. We would later become friends. But at that same time, had he just left me the fuck alone, shit would never happen. Understand how to avoid shit and make sure that they never happen versus you going jolly-go-lucky and think that you can beat everybody. I can't beat everybody, but I can kill them because I've been taught to do it since I was fucking 6 years old. Now I have to change my mindset to not kill, but cripple. So I don't have to beat you to put your ass in a wheelchair for the rest of your fucking natural life. I'm not TikTok tough. I'm not Instagram tough. I'm not YouTube tough. I was tough before the internet was ever a thing. I am a reject from the UFC because I only weighed 121 pounds in 1993. And now I gotta get back down to 130 or 140 pounds for health conditions. These motherfuckers still work. If you dumb enough to fuck with me, you will find out one truth. I don't have to beat you to kill you. I don't have to beat you to cripple you. And whichever hand you force, between cripple or kill, you better believe at the other end of that hand, there will be my body attached to yours. Thank you for watching.